Motorola has been the budget phone champion for years now, with the Moto G series being the go-to for those who want a solid performance without paying a high price. At the low end of the 2021 Moto G series is the Moto G Play, which still offers relatively modern design and more. At $170, it would be easy to assume that the Moto G Play is a real home run. But is it? Or should you keep saving for something else? I put the phone to the test to find out. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support my work and I would appreciate that support. The Moto G Play is a little different than the other Moto G devices in terms of its design, but it still looks relatively modern. Gone is the hole punch cutout for the front-facing camera, replaced by a small teardrop-shaped notch. And gone is the fingerprint sensor in the power button, instead offering a rear-mounted sensor, which still seemed to work quickly and accurately. On the bottom of the front of the device there's a small chin, but it's not too intrusive or big. Around the edges of the phone you'll get a USB-C port, volume rocker, and power button, and on the top a headphone jack, which is nice to see on a phone in this price range. The back of the phone is clearly plastic, and it doesn't look or feel as premium as glass or metal. That said, it still looks and feels fine, plus there's the advantage of being a little more durable than glass. I wouldn't worry too much about the plastic back. On the front of the phone there's a 6.5-inch display with a 720p resolution. It's a low-end display, which is to be expected, but it'll still get the job done for most uses. Colors don't look as vivid as they could, but again, for $170 it's hard to expect much more. Under the hood, the phone is relatively powerful for a device in this price range. You'll get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 460 processor coupled with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. A 4 series chip is quite a step down from a 6 series chip, but it still does the job for most use cases. You'll easily be able to do most basic tasks, but expect skips and freezes in software every now and then. And if you plan on using your phone for mobile gaming, expect slightly longer load times and some dropped frames. The phone was able to handle itself fine in games like Call of Duty Mobile, but it wasn't a great experience, and there were plenty of times where it stuttered, especially in menus. Benchmark results confirm the slightly underpowered performance. The phone scored 255 in Geekbench 5's single-core score and 1254 on the multi-core score, which is far less than any other device in the Moto G series, and shows that this is a lower-end phone. Still, in day-to-day use, it's pretty much fine. There's a relatively large battery too. The device has a 5000 mAh battery, and I've found that it lasts at least 2 days of even moderately heavy use, and for some even into a third day. That's quite good, and means that you shouldn't have to worry too much about keeping the phone nice and charged up. Unfortunately, the device doesn't support wireless charging, but you wouldn't really expect a phone this cheap to anyway. In my battery test, which involves streaming a YouTube video for 3 hours on full brightness, the phone ended the test with 77%. That's actually really good, and shows that the phone can hold its own in battery life. Expect to be able to squeeze a few full days of use out of this device. The camera is about as good as you would expect for an entry-level device, meaning it's not great. On the device you'll get a 13-megapixel main camera with a 2-megapixel depth sensor, and that's it. There's no telephoto or ultra-wide lenses here. In well-lit environments, the phone can actually capture decent shots. They're not the most colourful or interesting photos, but they definitely do the job. In more challenging situations, photos are worse. In low light, there's a lot of noise and not much detail, if you can see the subject at all. The front-facing camera is more of the same, offering decent images in good lighting, but that's about it. One of the best things about recent Motorola phones is their relatively clean software experience, and this phone is no exception. The device comes with Motorola's MyUX, and it's pretty close to stock Android 10. There are a few tweaks, but they're in the form of features, mostly in the Moto app. I actually really appreciate the features that are offered in MyUX, such as gestures for screenshots and to turn the flashlight on. It also helps that they're all contained in the Moto app, instead of spread out throughout the software. Unfortunately, the software update situation is pretty rough. Motorola says that the device will get one major software update, to the already released Android 11, but it hasn't said when, and that's pretty much where software updates will end for the phone. You'll get security updates for 2 years, but still, I would have liked more operating system updates. So, should you buy the Motorola Moto G Play? Well, if you're looking for a phone under $200, then it's probably the way to go, considering the long battery life and good software experience. If you can afford to spend more, you'll be able to get a much more powerful phone through other devices in the Moto G series, or if you can afford it, a Google Pixel 4a. But in this price range, the Moto G Play can't really be beat. Check out the link in the description to buy the Moto G Play for yourself. Thanks for watching, and again, please hit the like button and subscribe if this video was helpful to you. My name is Christian, and I'll see you next time. See ya!